Hi, welcome to my session. This is Cloud Native for Humans for KCD Islamabad 2024. Let's get started. About me, well, I'm a professor, the organizer of Cloud Native Guatemala. I also work as a DevOps engineer. I'm a LinkedIn ambassador and reapplying to be a CNCF ambassador too, author of a book with Pact Publishing. Cloud Native is the most important concept about this session. It covers some important concepts around DevOps, containers, microservices, APIs, also continuous delivery, right? Cloud Native refers to applications, the different kind of things that an application has to implement, let's say. For example, just containers, versioning, just cloud computing and this kind of stuff. Also, Cloud Native uses or try to implement these 12-factor apps for the applications in order to be more reliable. Also use technologies like service meshes and of course the APIs to communicate each other, the microservices. CNCF looks to promote cloud native open source software, right? So CNCF is trying to evangelize people to use these projects, and CNCF support these projects, help them to grow. Also, the first project that comes to CNCF was Kubernetes, but Kubernetes is not all, it's just the first project, and there are a lot of projects, of course, move around Kubernetes, some others not, but there are a whole ecosystem of cloud native software that CNCF promotes. It also tries to push neutral vendors on this and use open source software in general. The CNCF mission is that create a cloud native computing more ubiquitous. It's like pretty interesting part. Also CNCF in their website, let's move there a little bit. You can see different projects, the different projects there, and the training, the community links, blog posts, and this kind of stuff. So cncf.io is the first step that you have to think when trying to get involved in this whole ecosystem and community. Also, let's understand the big project, the first one, what is Kubernetes? Let's understand or learn what is Kubernetes using a music band or an orchestra. We can say that the minimal thing in Kubernetes is a container, and we represent a container with a musical instrument like a hornet, a cello. So these containers can be grouped. Let's call this group of instruments with their musician, call it a pod. So a pod can play a specific instrument and a specific song, right? As I was mentioning, a container is like this abstraction, right? A dedicated simple stuff, a single task that contains all the necessary elements for the music in this case, but these all the necessary elements to execute a task. As I was mentioning, a pod is a group of a container, right? It's pretty specific, you just can play one song, what rhythm, just one song, right? A deployment in this case, it's pretty similar than a pod, but you can version things about the song. Also can play different songs or return to the previous song, right? So it's more powerful. Also, a deployment or this group of pods, let's say, can have like different instruments, not like the same instrument, but in order to simplify how to explain this, well, we can say that a pod or R deployment contains containers from the same species, right? The same type, but it's not true in general, but we can simplify that to say that in this case, right? So a deployment can play like different songs, versioning these songs, get back to the previous song, something that a pod can do, right? For a pod, you have to replace the musicians in order to have something new. In the deploy, just change the page with the new song. A service, let's say how we can access these pods or deployments. In this way, how we can access the music. So we are using a microphone, picks the music, you can hear the music on the speaker, right? So that's the way about how we can hear the sound of the instruments across the speaker and the microphone, right? The orchestrator is the director of the music band or the orchestra that the schedule that say, okay, it's your turn to play, is your turn container, or is your turn pod, or is your turn deployment to do something for this music song. So the orchestrator has that functionality. The control plane can do some adjustments, has some rules to perform certain actions. When you are saying to the musician, let's play this song, to musicians, we can say to the pods, to the deployments, do this task. It's time right now, right? Also, if we want to explain a service mesh, we can say that the service mesh with a console can take some calibrations on the sound, reduce high peaks, raise the volume, and also is checking on real time what is happening with the sound, right? Also can apply some effects to the instruments, some reverb, some delay, some noise gate or something similar. That's the service mesh. Gives you the power to pick the sound and output that sound on the speakers to get more sound loud. Also monitoring the things in real time, apply effects like reverb, delay, of this kind of stuff. And we can say this service mesh can perform some observability, a way to measure the sound, what is happening with the sound, or the current state of the system, right? The current state about how is the song going, right? The volume, etc. Let's explain Kubernetes using food too, right? In this case, the orchestrator can take decisions about the food. Let's say that the dish or where you are cooking the thing is the worker node of the oven. In this case, the container, the minimal stuff is the specific food, and the pod is a group of more than one type of food that you are cooking, right? The chef is scheduling the different orders and cooking the things to prepare the things for the clients, customers, right? So it's scheduling this task of cooking, is taking decisions like a control plane. But how you can access the food? Let's say that there is a table, is the client and wants to eat the food, right? The only way to receive the food is using the table, right? And getting sit down and starting to eat. That's the service, the way to access the food, right? Also, CNCF, well, with that basic example about what is Kubernetes, there are a lot of complementary software, let's say, that can run inside Kubernetes. There's another software that don't necessarily use Kubernetes, but they are like different projects for CNCF, sandbox, incubated projects, graduated projects, or archive, right? The first step is a sandbox project. So let's explore these projects. Um, Here you can see the graduated projects of CNCF, like FluentD, Jagger, Prometheus, Argo CD, Envoy, Linkerd, TKB, build packs, backstage, crossplane, Kennedy Captain, Cubase, different projects that you can use. StreamC, OpenTelemetry, right? Thanos. So in that place on the CNCF website, you can find like these projects. You can get more in depth there. Also, the landscape are projects associated to CNCF that are part of the ecosystem. Let's explore the landscape. So here's the last landscape. There are like a lot of projects there, right? That you can explore to start using client native software depending on your needs. Now, because all the time the people just mention the projects, but there are groups inside CNCF that you can participate. For example, a group that you can participate, but well, there is a process of election for the people that can be inside this committee. Is a technical oversight committee that they select which project is going to get in CNCF, decisions of which project should be graduated, incubated, sandbox, etc. In general, the TOC looks into that. The technical advisory group or TAG looks for me is more like a kind of explore big topics, general topics. So do some research around this topic to promote that this topic should be adopted for cloud native technologies or the ecosystem or similar things. So that's the tag about. There are some specific tags, for example, the environmental sustainability tag that is in charge of studying environmental sustainability, exploring programs to measure the amount of energy to be more green, etc. Here's the link of the tag. I'm also a contributor here. And the working groups can explore like more specific topics inside these tags, but there are working groups that can be created outside a tag, so it's not necessary to be part of a tag, but they study or research or are looking for more specific topics on this general topic of the tag, right? There are pretty interesting tags, working groups about observability, networking, as I remembered, or similar things. You can explore this on the CNCF website. Also, CNCF has a glossary of terms that you can start learning about, and you can explore, also contribute to the glossary. TAG Env Sustainability also have glossary too, that you can translate to your favorite language. Start contributing. Also, there are different conference and events that you can attend, like Cloud Native community groups that are local to your country. KubeCon's the big event that represents a continent sometimes, or regions that where the countries are pretty active. The Kubernetes Community Days is like a big event for a country organized by the local people. And Cube Day is organizer for CNCF for a country, right? This kind of stuff. Co-located events are inside KubeCon and are more specific sub-events for specific tasks on CNCF or around CNCF projects. The DAGs, the technical advisory groups, you can participate giving ideas, contributing, and these kind of things. And the working groups are complementary to this, right? And there are some certifications that you can take to grow in your career, like CKA, CKAD, the administration, the application developer certifications, the security stuff, CKS, and more basic certifications for you, KCNA, KCSA, and CNCF is continuously adding new certifications to this ecosystem. If you want to start contributing to CNCF, go to Slack, register, start finding your tag, talk, working group, your preferred project on CNCF, join a cloud native community group, or or create a new group, right? Host events around CNCF like Sustainability Week, attend to CNCF events, and contribute to the projects, right? I want to invite you to Culinary Guatemala. Maybe you want to learn more Spanish, or you have some Latinos friends, right? And these ones are the slides of this presentation that you can check later to get more in depth. And my contact, my Twitter, my website, and you can find me as Sergio Méndez and in all social networks. So I will be happy to share with you and help you in whatever you want around this CNCF ecosystem. So give the step, don't be shy, assist to events. You can find also information, also opportunities, and you can make awesome friends too. So don't be shy, just get involved on the CNCF ecosystem, and see you in some conference. That's it. Bye, people.